So, good evening and welcome everyone to our adventures here in Ilhern, where apparently I'm now supposed to make a very stern face.
Good.
Grr. Um, Quick roll call summary, and we dive right in. Without having to rush, because I don't have to be up at like 6 in the morning. So, Joe.
Yep.
Grr.
Get at it in here.
It's
Grr.
you.
Oh, I'm here.
Because he still has it on his chest. Air quotes. Kotark.
Marcus is here. If that could be removed, that'd be appreciated.
I don't know who did
Kotark, you'll
it.
never leave.
I didn't put it.
I know who did, Union.
Vivian.
I'm gonna sue you.
Vivian.
Yeah.
And the guy trying really hard to match number of lawsuits with a certain copyright troll.
Arm Union.
I didn't actually expect you to respond to that.
Yeah, he just agreed to it.
Yeah. Okay. So where we last left off, the party has settled down for most of the morning, getting various tasks done. Joe went and visited with various artisans that he had contracted to confirm that they were, of course, alive and at least doing okay. And that a certain project was still well underway, and now more or less in need of a final ingredient, i.e., the power source. Um, Meanwhile, it became aware to the party that Grandma's just not exactly doing so hot, having cracked her head fairly hard, and was slipping through various memories, swearing that she had just re-met her husband, that she had not, in fact, already put out the pastries, but she did. Um, but overall, the physical damage had been healed by Union and his relatively restabilized connection to the gods. Some information was gathered on a handful of the various items available to you, or available to try and reclaim at the behest of the new Lady of Innsland. Um, Including the Wall of Hem, the World Thumb, Noctum, as examples. Because I believe that was right about the time we realized that I was completely muted for like an hour of last session or so. We are picking up with the party having just exchanged that information, sent Grandma back into the kitchen. I believe everyone was getting up to try and decide on finding some means of transit. Is there any last minute
I thought we were setting up with the guild.
Oh, right. You need to try and do paperwork.
Yes, that's where we ended up.
Which, as noted, there's no one here doing paperwork. There's a lot of very angry people having to, because they have to pull long shifts trying to get the physical guild back up and running. Joe and Union, you can see that the staircase that led up to what was effectively both the guild library and the guild vault has crumbled under what appears to be the weight of a host of bodies that they are still in the midst of pulling out. There's this burnished red stain to a lot of the floorboard that you fairly sure wasn't there before. And most notably, the dwarf's desk was knocked over. His lunch still left uneaten.
Poor dwarf.
But as noted, none of the scribes, scriveners, inscribers, what have you, none of them are currently present within the guild hall. There's a smattering of individual adventurers, kind of chatting, bouncing from one person to another, trying to get a grasp of what's going on. Most of them bearing like copper and even like tin markers of rank. Um, Proceed with that information as you will.
Union will sort of glance over at Joseph. Just, well, I don't suppose we're going to be able to get them signed up. Not if there's no one doing the paperwork to induct them.
Well, we could still do the paperwork. We just can't turn it in currently.
Yes. We fill out the paper and leave it here. I do not like
No.
the idea of carrying the papers with us. There's fire and water and all the other things we run into.
You could store them at Grandma's. I'm sure you have a permanent room there.
Yes, it is practically over to mine. Yes, that is not a bad idea, Joseph. All right then. Union will walk around looking for the appropriate papers.
Give me an investigation check.
I believe in you, Union. Consider yourself inspired.
Thank you, Kotar.
That didn't sound very inspiring.
Look,
He-
Union has to take what he gets.
Say he plays on.
That was
a
inspiring for
bagpipe.
Kotark.
What's your inspiration?
D8.
Wonderful.
So you head to the like most logical place where all paperwork is done, to the upended table belonging to the dwarf, and you, as novice adventurers, look onward, begin to just ransack the relatively already in disarray filing system that the poor guy had, and come up empty. You've got dispatch contracts. You have retirement requests, loan requests, but not what you're looking for.
Well, given the current state of the city, Union will pick up a blank sheet of paper. What if we just temporarily wrote and signed our own contracts? Does anyone object?
I don't object to that.
Perfect. New blood, come here.
Which one's new blood?
Alright, you and not Kotak are joining. Yes? And the
Sure.
assassin is hired by someone else.
I wasn't told there was going to be a contract.
It is simply signing your intention to join the rebels of the vanquished. And
Who's that?
that is the name of our group.
Oh, okay. See, that makes a lot more sense now.
Yes. Now, I'm not a very learned man. I don't really know how these contracts work, but come over here and sign it.
I have never signed a contract in my life.
But we write the contract first before I sign.
I mean, you at least shouldn't have to worry about magical enchantments if it's just a piece of paper.
Yes, no magical enchantments. At least not for me.
So it's just a blank piece of paper?
Yes.
Doesn't seem like a very binding contract.
It's really not.
Given that I've traveled a bit, would I know like general structure of an adventuring contract?
Go ahead and give me a history intelligence.
Of course.
Yeah, you're pretty sure you can bullshit your way through an ideal contract.
I get it.
I don't think anyone wants to sign an ideal contract.
I will quickly draw up a quick
A 25-page contract?
no, not 25 page. Like 2 page. Basically. Basic, hey, we're traveling with them as part of the Rebels of the Vanquished.
Does it have anything about payment?
We will evenly distribute funds.
I will write that into the contract, including for a party fund.
Alright, good enough for me. I will sign it.
Perfect.
I don't know how to write in common.
An X will work.
You just get a big R.
Okay, that works. I can see no way in which our dwarven friend would be upset by that.
And I will sign it as well.
Virkus.
Verkus.
Virkus. Not Kotak.
Not Kotak.
Okay. Well, with that, you are officially unofficial.
Sleight of hand to put not Kotak in parentheses next to Virkus's name.
I just stop his hand.
I just want to...
Everyone sees you
No.
do it, but Rur.
No signing anything else.
Very well.
Yeah, no adding to the contract now.
Your souls
Do you
are
want to
ours
get
for all
sued?
time.
Now it's time to slip those 2 pages between the 2 that he wrote.
Joseph, you have the soul binding pages? Ah, very good.
Soul binding. No? What about soul binding pages? What are you talking about? Stay out of my bags.
Yes, quite. Well, welcome to the Rebels of the Vanquished.
I do have a question.
Yes?
Who are the vanquished that we're rebelling against again?
I didn't come up with the name. I think we are rebelling for the Vanquished.
Again, we're the that we're rebelling for, I guess. Rebels of the Vanquished? Yeah, I guess that could work too.
I guess your friends that died?
I suppose it was not a name chosen or come up with by either myself or Joseph.
So why'd you keep the name then?
Inertia?
I'm just in the future, you know, when we actually file this paperwork with the guild, maybe we could come up with a more appropriate name for the group now.
That would seem.
Maybe something to do with us saving the world? Since we're kind of known for that?
Yes, that would seem appropriate.
Joe says, having had like one person recognize him so far.
Probably. Because I'll be honest with you, when he mentioned it right now, I was like, that was our name?
I honestly cannot remember why Grayson, like what Grayson's thoughts were about it.
What was his character? I can't
Oliver.
remember.
Oliver.
My-
Yeah, I have zero recollection of that.
I remember him saying it was something his character had heard, or something that meant something to his character.
Yeah.
And
So
then,
he
and then his
recommended it
character
to us.
promptly left the party.
Yeah,
and,
right
then-
after we
and
met.
also all of us were like, awesome name, we're done.
I think each one of us
Done.
like put in a name, and we decided that one sounded the best.
It's catchy. So anyhow, what you doing? What's the plan?
Well,
Um,
we have a job to do.
Are we gonna raid a boat? I've never ridden a boat.
Possibly. I mean, at this point, we might even be getting on an airship. I'm not sure.
So
Let's
what
see
is
what you
our
see.
what is our destination, Joseph?
Hold on. I'm attempting to find what I do with my character sheet because I have like a 14-step plan here, somewhere.
You see as Joseph begins rifling through his robes, tossing out receipts, crumpled candy wrappers, a magazine, The Coffee Weekly.
I'm literally just waiting for my sheet to.
Uh-huh.
No, I clicked for it to pop out, and it's just I'm getting like the little circle loading. Okay, so
A mushroom walks up his
step
arm.
1 and 2 is now covered. I can check those off. Step 3 is to make our way towards Oven Muffin.
Thought we were gonna stop in Rhindorf to get orcs.
We are, but that's
Okay.
on our way to
That's on our way, got it.
Oven Muffin.
That's
Why I said start heading towards.
Yeah.
So it would look like
because that the next step is detour to Rhindorf to get orcs and the left mounts.
the boat. He misses the boat.
Also, step after that is stop to get corpse flowers before we get to Oven Muffin.
right.
Is
So
it
would
oven or open?
Often muffin.
Yeah,
Not much better.
open muffin. Okay.
It's an F. Off. Often muffin.
Okay.
So
Muffin muff.
would our next step be to travel downriver to Buggen and then over the road north?
Buggin? I mean,
We just
I think we just go from Innsland straight over and catch the.
I'm just thinking historically there was a reason people traveled along the rivers, but
Bandits. It's just overall cleaner terrain.
how did we go last time? I don't remember. Did
The
we
last
just-
time we took. I'm pretty sure we went down to Buggin.
No,
and the
no.
river.
no,
The
no,
boat was never
went
successfully
dark.
rented.
because
Sky
Union
went
and
dark.
Kotark went to rent a boat, and we all know what happened there. Union was attacked by gnomes.
Right.
And then when we left,
So we
Sky-
are not going near the docks with Union again. We should just leave by the north gate, and hopefully we won't encounter any plains tribes this time, because last time the sky went dark after we killed a few of them. So does everybody have all the supplies they're going to need to survive possibly for another year? With the way this group
Let me check.
works.
I got a sword. I got another sword. And yeah, I'm good.
Or don't we need to pick up traveling supplies, food, and whatnot?
Just kill what's on the land. There's deer.
I mean, I'm pretty sure, and he checks, and yes, he does still have 6 more of those potions. I don't think I'm going to need to eat anything for a while.
Joseph, you're literally a skeleton.
I know. I'm watching my figure.
Yes, quite. It's very slimming, but the rest of us are not skeletons, and so we would still need to eat.
Yes. That's why I asked if you had enough supplies to last for the next year.
Joseph, I don't typically carry a year's worth of food and provisions on my back like a pack mule.
Okay. Do you have the ability to acquire them on our way?
You could probably buy them in towns and the like.
Well,
Yeah.
assuming we are passing through civilized areas.
I think the answer to this is yes, we're ready to go.
I think we're good.
Very well. I will have to return this contract for safekeeping with Grandma, but give me but an hour and I will be ready to depart.
Mm-hmm. And make sure that she will allow me to get that as well if in the future you're unable to.
Joseph. I think I'll outlast us both, but I will include that addendum.
Mm-hmm.
Very well. I will return, and Union will give a nod to the party and depart for Grandma's.
You really be allowed to travel.
I can follow him.
Just so I can update my sheet, but before I leave, I will check to see how much was in that money was in that chest.
Okay. Each chest in total holds 20,000 in gold. Again, stupid heavy. As
Mm-hmm.
well as 5 platinum pieces with a draconic iconography on it for no particular reason.
20K in gold and
5 in
5 platinum.
Yes, but with not like the standard stamping.
Dragon, right?
Correct. Doesn't look to
Call
be
those,
like Tiamat or Bama or anything like that.
call those 5 dragon platinum.
Just check your inventory later down the lifespan of the game. It appears I have 5 platinum dragons in my inventory.
That's why I said dragon platinum.
That said, while the chest itself, you are capable of lifting it slowly, even by the absurd weight within. The chest seems to only weigh up about 40 pounds. Do with that information what you will.
Right. Okay.
All right. So, with the party making way to sort of the rendezvous point, again, you will be passing through the sort of the market area. So, if there's anything you think of last second, you have about an hour before Union is able to rejoin you. Union, as you approach, Grandma's is still warm and cozy as when you had left it. There is the delightful scent of fresh baked goods wafting through the air. Noted, Verkus.
Union will knock and push open the door with a jovial hello as he heads inside the inn.
In the time that you and your party had departed, about 8 what it looks like locals um, have taken up, kind of sitting down and starting to enjoy their meals. There's a couple confused utterances as to why she's serving breakfast with it being the time of day it is. Much confusion, but yeah, they're down. Bacon. Who doesn't love bacon at the middle of the night?
Union will sort of cross the common room and go up to the bar, looking for whoever is sort of working the counter.
Approaching the counter, you peek over to see Megan currently underneath, tidying up what looks to be some of the older ledgers.
Excuse me. Hello, Megan.
Oh, back already?
Not for long, I'm afraid. I just have to return something to my room. That reminds me, how much to sort of ensure that it is mine and maintained in perpetuity, save my absence?
I'm not exactly allowed to make that kind of decision, but
Right.
I'm pretty sure I can just quietly knock it off the ledgers for a while. How long are you thinking?
A year, perhaps more.
Okay. You're talking about 40 gold?
That is no problem.
Anything after that, I guess she'll discuss with you when you get back.
Of course. Now, Union will hand over the coins. Now, in the event that Joseph, you remember him, the skeleton one?
You kind of hard to forget the coffee addicted skeleton. Yes.
Yes. Well, he might get flesh back at some point. I'm not sure if that's a given thing, but it's possible. But if he comes at some time in the future and I'm not with him, please do give him access to my quarters. There are important documents that either I will retrieve or he will retrieve when we are returned to Innsland.
Stands up, kind of pulls herself up the little less reigning height to be able to jot a note down by your mark in the journal. Okay, so 40 gold down payment for room secured. Admendum 1, Mr. Trunta?
Trenta. It's an E, not a U.
Okay.
Thank you, Megan. And Union will head upstairs and securely place the contract in a safe, out of the way location in his room.
Okay. All right, and
Whoops.
noted. Joe is typing up a storm. As he has broken away and left the 3 newbies to the adventuring corps to head to the north gate by themselves. You guys pass through the market. It is decently noisy. Most of the stalls have closed down at this point. And you arrive trailed shortly after, having worked your way through the markets, having to every now and then that one merchant like, hey, no, pretty people buy my stuff. Look, it's so shiny. Look. But for the most part, everyone's kind of keeping to themselves on the roads. You have all of about a 20-minute wait before Union arrives, well ahead of Joe.
Union will come up to the rest of the party. Hello. We're
Hello.
waiting for Joseph.
I thought he was with us. I got lost easy though. He probably got lost too.
Well, I'm sure he will not be too much longer. Union will sort of glance up. It's becoming nightfall, yeah?
Correct.
Union will sort of glance up at the darkening sky and then over at Vivian and say, is this more to your liking? Vivian, was it?
Is it?
It's going on evening.
So, yeah, a bit. Better altogether when the sun's not there.
I suppose it would be.
Vivian, as the twilight does fall, you begin to hear the various common houses, places of rest, and the like, fill with delightful music.
Hmm. Is it cloudy? I think there was a storm coming.
Correct. A northbound storm is on the way.
I don't want to sound completely needy or anything, but obviously, if we can make it to clouded or a shaded area before nightfall, even better.
You could stand under a tree.
Yeah, but trees don't move very well.
That makes sense. Okay, you're right. I'm sorry.
So I suppose the elf's bagpipes would not be the worst thing
To play or to wear?
to play. You know, just fill the air.
Did you get that, Joe? Chirp, chirp. Chirp, chirp, chirp.
No, I got the test. I haven't seen anything since.
Okay. That tells me which test you got. So I gotta send it to this Joe.
Okay.
All right, and as noted, Joe, you arrive there at the gate. The party has been waiting for about 20 minutes or so. There is a call from the guards about the time that you arrive that the gates are soon to be closed.
Right.
So all traffic is to ingress or egress as they so need, and this is the last call.
Oh, we should get going then, huh?
I would say so.
Quiet.
I would say so too.
Yes.
I mean, we should be just heading off. As long as we head like due west, we should eventually hit the road.
All right, let's go adventure then.
Onward.
Woo!
Welcome back, Marcus. Just in time as the gates of Innsland close behind you, as the night guard takes their place before the gate, behind the gate, and along the walls parapets. And you make your way out into the wilderness. There north, breaking away from the lake and attempting to head west. Who is guiding you?
I don't think I'm particularly trained in survival, but I could.
I could take the lead. No
Oh,
idea
you're
where
trained
we're
in
going.
survival.
Then you can help each other.
I will help.
Okay.
Vivian just is like beelining for the clouds. Okay. So the first portion of travel before you begin to get into any of the dips and raises of the valleys, you come through farmland that Joe and Union mildly familiar to you. You had like vague recollection of, um, excuse me, Arson having someone he knew here. I don't remember if in character you remember whether it was family or not. I don't remember if that was. I can't remember off the top of my head if that was field. But he had mentioned one of the farms here that you pass in the night. That is most of which the farms out here, like the actual buildings, there are no lights, no candles in the windows, no torches. Um, there is a smell of fields gone to a state of overripeness. Um, about 2 hours in, with Vivian and Rare, sort of taking turns in passing, ensuring that they are following as due eastwardly as possible. You do cross one field that the two of you would, or the lot of you would recognize as a grain field, wheats, some corn. And you can hear what sounds like a fairly soft voice that I'm afraid I'm a little too not soft in the voice to do right this second. Currently humming. But otherwise, unless you intend to divert, your travels go unimpeded. You see some passing small game here and there for those of you who can see decently, here in the now low light state as the moon begins to take place of the sun. In this regard, I'm afraid the clouds are just not quite there in time, Vivian.
It's fine. It's fine.
Moonlight's still probably nice for you, though, right? Or do you
I
hate
mean,
that light too?
the sun's painful. The moon is evil.
Why is the moon evil?
Hopefully, we'll never find out.
Ooh, ominous. I hope we find out.
This moment that I realize that Yoon is now not the most religiously devout character in the party.
Interesting.
Or at least like keeping to the theme of said religion. It is nearing the 11th hour of eve before you're fairly confident um, as a group that the road shouldn't be too far away. Um, but you find yourself in relatively easy terrain. If you would like to try an attempt to shave off a little bit of travel time and beeline a little more northward.
I'm fine with either way.
I would not be opposed to shaving some time and going north.
I leave it to our guides.
Well, you know the people guiding you are the ones who literally don't know where they're going.
Which way is north?
Oh my god.
Looking at your survival, you're probably the best we got.
I'll say,
Vivian.
the paladin says, "Oh my God!" Lathander looks down from his newspaper, like, "Leave me out of this."
Is that another help action or?
I'll keep helping. I'm not much help, but I'll keep helping.
I just want to point out it was 9 and
At the
9.
mention of her literally saying which way is north, Joe will start checking, double checking the route, you might say.
Okay. With a 19, and the party still fresh from their day of rest, you were able to push and shave off what you'd imagine would have been about an hour and a half worth of time just going straight to the road. And you come cresting up over hill, and you see what the worked land um, uh, down the slope that appears to be the serviceable transit area of the road. Um, at this point, it is going on. Yeah, she's not much help because she's busy barking and demon to a bird.
Union just like hears this starts up and just sort of turns because he knows Infernal. So what is
Sir,
what
it
is that?
says common. You don't have a passive perception. You don't have passive investigation. You do not have an armor class. You know common.
That's all I know.
Really boring stuff. Just kind of like talking about her day. To the Raven, just like back and forth. And the Raven every once in a while just goes, "Grr!"
Yeah, Infernal for like casual conversation. Very aggressive. Not quite German, but pretty close. To any German speakers, I love y'all. Yes, I'm aware it is a beautiful language, but let's be honest, the memes aren't memes for no reason.
It's a pretty funny language.
So, being that you are arrested, it is now deep into the night, going into the twilight morning hours. Excuse me. Do you wish to try and press on?
I mean, we're not in a super rush, right?
How long have we been traveling?
It is now going on 1 in the morning as you reach the road.
Oh, about 8 hours.
Just about, yeah.
I will be more than happy to let these guys get tired during the day.
So if we stop now, we could basically rest and head out again at first light.
A little after, yeah.
Yeah. Right after breakfast.
We could also keep pushing, eat breakfast, and then go to bed, and then sleep during the day.
What is this sleep you speak of?
I'm pretty sure it's when you close your eyes and you kind of don't wake up for a bit.
He stares
Oh,
at
no,
you
this
with
is gonna
glowing
be-
fire in his eyes.
I no longer have the the physical traits to be able to close my eyes.
Oh, that is a problem.
But I'm pretty sure that that it would be best to wait and pick up the trail at first light.
Jerry,
But
you're
I mean,
super
I'm only
quiet.
one. Everyone else has a vote.
I know Vivian doesn't want to go in the day, so I don't mind resting during the day.
I very well. At least while we are just simply aimlessly traveling, or not aimlessly, but that is fine with.
Okay. So yeah, for the record, Verkus cannot hear a word you're saying.
Test, 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 test.
Much better.
Okay.
So you were saying?
I was saying that perhaps now is time for rest.
Is it? I mean, here's the thing. How tired is everyone? Is what I kind of want to know.
You
Are
wait.
we going to be pushing ourselves, you might say, to continue traveling for more than 8 hours at a time?
With the amount of rest that you guys managed to get before leaving the city, for like the first day of a trip, not that much of a push. I'll grant.
Okay.
If you make a habit of it, the fleshies are going to start to fill it.
Yeah. And in this world, is it about a 50-50 day-night cycle?
More akin to. Let's see. It went dark about 7-ish.
Right. And
So
sunrise is
closer to like you'd imagine today. If you had to try and take a guess, anywhere between 6 and 7.
so it's roughly about a 50-50 then. So 12 hours of sunlight, 12 hours of dark. I mean, it's kind of an unknown at this point. It's been dark for so long. The sun literally could come up and try to balance it out for the rest of the several months. But
Magic.
yeah.
Listen here, you motherfucker. You had your time. It's my turn now.
80-30. And yes, I know that's 110. But I mean, if everybody wants to press on, I'm not against it. I'm not against stopping and
I think
waiting
if we're
either.
feeling good, let's try to get at least a good push today.
Oh, flip side, it's the first day of travel. Should we push ourselves too hard on the first day? When there's no, like, pressure?
I think it makes sense to use this energy that we got to go a little bit further.
Yeah, works for me.
Onward.
Okay. So, it is about 5 hours down the road. For the less constitutionally driven among you, fatigue is starting to kick in more from the monotony, the repetition of just one foot in front of the other. And it is the first that you see of another individual upon the road.
An individual.
Yes, I was closing my my Chinese food back up. So 1 second. Coming down the road, wearing heavily stained with probably weeks worth of travel, just caked on dust. They're up to their calves, freshly wetted from the dew. Appears to be an individual about 5'9" at a quick glance, with a a woven grass cloak and hood pulled tight overhead. There is the like for the perceptive among you, which is most of you. Um, there's a brief moment where you can see them lift up, and a faint hint of this gray blue skin catches your eyes before they kind of shoulder the cloak tighter around them and break to give you a fairly wide berth and pretty much give you the road.
As we walk, I'm gonna try to get like a closer look.
Fucking bars, man. This guy's clearly trying to say, fuck off, leave me alone.
Yep. And
Bar's
that's
like, what are you?
Yeah.
Can I seduce you?
Well, I got
Never
my
trust the
pass.
traveler at like 4 a.m.
But Vergus, you slip in. There's just enough light as the that giant ball of fire is just barely beginning to present its essence over the horizon. That you catch what looks to be deep black tattoos running from the jawline and upwards into the loss of features under the hood, as it is still too shaded to catch. Um, but you definitely catch sight of his hand wrapping around, as you can tell, a very masculine jawline, the haft of a long strip of oak that bends with the weight as he like hoists with a shoulder this rock about the size of your chest, and you can kind of his like posture of
Well, time to keep moving.
I'm trying to be nice here.
Yep, time to keep moving.
Um, as the bard scurries away, anyone left looking can see like a gasp of relief on the traveler. As he kind of struggles to put the giant maul back in its place. Again, it is at this point that the lot of you physically are feeling like, yeah, this might be a good time to sit, let the blood get back to where it needs to be. Um, with a deafness that belies the shrugging, lurching motion he had presented with Verkus, he catches the 2 silver and then drops 2 silver on the ground, sort of rolled up, and keeps walking. And you can hear him under his breath, like, "Damn it, I really needed that money." Potentially something like that. Because I mean, it's not an easy feat to just curl a coin.
Well, I guess let's find a good spot to
Set
curl up.
Oh, nap time? Okay.
Yes.
I will put up hut. Allow everybody in.
Is it opaque?
Yes.
Thank you.
You say thank you until he begins his song of rest.
Okay, if it sounds like that, that's fine.
So Vivian can complete a long rest. All of you have splitting headaches.
Ow.
But no, there is. Right, you made it opaque, so you have no idea what's going on outside. But as a result, you are able to get the full, uninterrupted 8 hours of rest.
Wonderful.
Oh, whenever we rest, I do leave the camp to sleep somewhere else. Sorry, I forgot to say.
Okay, just roll me a survival. Find you a nice little nook. Okay. You nestle down under one of the handful of trees, well out of sight from any passerbys. Closing on a little before midday, the hut begins to slowly break way and reveal to the poor, sight challenged members of the party that 8 hours is not enough to hide from the sun, and is now nearing its highest point.
I'm still trying to figure out how to deal with this ball. Don't torment me.
Perhaps a big hat
A big hat.
to provide shade.
It doesn't provide. Unless you're talking about a hat that can provide shade to everyone and everything around me.
No,
It doesn't
no.
work.
Look, I am trying.
I'm letting you know. It doesn't work like that.
But assuming any particular going ons, the party reunites with Rare rejoining you.
Yep.
I mean, I do have a spell that would probably help her during the day, but I don't think she would want me to cast it on her.
What spell?
Blindness.
I'm already blind. It's rude.
I mean, I wish I could come up with something called dim, but
There's some dark elf wizard down in the Underdark just trying so hard to like rework the fundamentals of dark vision to just
yeah.
vision.
I was just trying to get something between like light and darkness. I just want dim.
All right.
It's the spell that as you walk, the light around you becomes dimmer. Go.
There's like an item that does that, but anyhow,
Yeah.
to avoid tangents,
Yeah.
travel upon the road is decidedly easy. You begin to run into a handful of caravans, most of which are very much on guard due to recent events. But for the most part, none actively approach or call out to you.
Probably because of the drow.
Sure. Has nothing to do with the fact that everyone's just been getting murdered for the last several thousand years.
Nah, that's standard.
Ah, well, excuse me. But by the beginning, the point where the sun is beginning its dip back off of this side of the world, you arrive at the crossroads between RotG and Rheindorf.
So, which way leads to open muffin? Why do you name a place that? Is it like specialized in muffins and being like open or something? Do they put a jam in them?
Where do you think Grandma learned her baking secrets?
Does she make muffins?
She makes all kinds of pastries.
That wasn't a yes.
When we return, I will treat you to some of Grandma's famous muffins.
So yes, your guides have no idea which way they're going.
Well, Joseph, I know you had business in Rheindorf.
Yes. This is definitely the road that would take us to Rheindorf. We need to pick up the our other companions, and maybe somebody else remembers what other mounts possibly got left behind besides my bear, because I know we left all the mounts behind at that point. But I don't know who
have
else had them.
those.
Yeah.
I think pretty much everybody else's mounts.
Well, the thing is, like,
There's-
none of the people who would have had mounts
Are here.
are here, but I'm sure the mounts that they possibly might have had might have still been there too.
if only that were the case. No, the Warhorse and Arson and Tempest mount are both dead.
Oh, then yeah, just the bear.
So just the bear. So when we left all the mounts, it was just mine apparently. Okay.
Okay.
Good to know.
So again, following the road, you're fairly sure that if you, as a lot, made a physical push, you could arrive by, probably around midnight. You don't remember Rheindorf being a walled city, such as Ilhern. Otherwise, you would get to the point where you're just outside of the town limits and need to catch your heirs if you wish to arrive in the morning.
I'm fine with that.
Maybe just pushing into the town's a good idea.
Yes.
If that's the decision, I just need a Constitution save from the living members of the party.
Okay, Rare.
Yeah, Rare. Save some 20s for the rest of us.
I'm good at what I do.
All right. So, as noted, about the midnight hour, right about the time that you begin to hear the soft trickle of that pitter patter. I hope this sound effect still works. I like to say hope the sound effect still works, and then just hear Duke in the background just blah 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 blah.
The gentle trickle trickle.
Rheindorf itself, obviously, it's seen some better days. It's been through some shit lately.
Basically 2 apocalypses in a row.
Yeah, like it could use a vacation. That's all I'm saying, right? Like just a little bit of one. Um,
I was about to say that vacation's gonna get ruined by a storm, and then that happened.
um, for the most part, there's no one on the streets. You catch eyes of a handful of vagrants tucked down an alley, both wanting to get your attention, but also frightened of the attention that they might get, as they shake a beggar's can in your direction. Um, a stray dog sprints across, dragging what you hope was a roll of bread in its mouth. You guys haven't exactly visited much of the city while you were here. Um, there you go, Ruckus. They utter thanks in what sounds to be fairly less than good Elvish. Um, but as you get into city center or town center, knowing that just a few more blocks you'll make it to the stables. There is a new building, clearly a rapid construction of timber and mud, that looks to be a rounded fortress of sorts, um, taking up the entirety of the town center. Um, you can hear the final click and draw as those of you able to see, which I think at this point everyone but Rare can see in the dark.
I can see in the dark.
Do we have anyone that can't? If memory serves, everyone else should.
I think everyone should be able to.
Yeah.
Okay.
For some reason, I thought Union couldn't.
He's a tiefling. They can see in the dark.
Yeah, yeah.
They see
So,
red.
so
Joe, I don't know what that's like.
your overall ability here in Grayscale, you catch what looks to be 3 crossbow persons on the edge of this very slapdash palisade, and 2 spearmen at what would be the fairly thin entrance, the gap. Sort of already like their spear shafts sunk into the ground, braced for charge. Who goes there? And what the hell is that?
I'm a rare.
I think
It's called an onion.
I think they are talking about Joe.
Oh, he's undead.
Yeah.
But one of the good ones.
I can't confirm that. But he is undead.
Is Miss Brownbeard here? Tell her Joe has returned.
Some chatter amongst each other.
She can vouch for me.
There you can hear heavy footfalls on the mud from behind, as you presume someone's going to go and get her.
It will be fine. They'll go get Granny, and everything will be fine.
Another grandmother?
Oh, the real one. This one can fight. Quite well, actually. Superior in every way.
Anyhow, before the grandma wars kick off. Anyone who's like feel like they can multitask, just repurpose like the Civil War poster, like the two teams as just like all grandmas. Thanks.
Oh, grandmas.
Oh, that's a lot of work.
The Granny Wars.
There's yep. You can even like maybe even like the cookie clicker grandma. Just saying. Um. Heavy footfalls soon follow, closing distance between y'all, as does the clank and creak of armor as she mutters something in not great orcish. As her and your two tribesmen make basically meet up where the spearmen are and look out. You told me Mr. Trenta was here. Are you wasting my time? Do you have any understanding how much the repairs alone this city needs? Who are you lot?
I will nudge Joe.
Hi, I'm Red.
I'm here. Yeah. I'm here, Miss Braunbeard. It's great to see you again.
Where's the rest
I know
of you?
I've known it changed a little bit since the last time we. But it's me.
Yeah, I'd beg to refute that if not for recognizing your elk boy there. Is that you, Master Union?
I am indeed Union.
All right. Come on behind the walls. You're giving me boys quite the scare. Easy, lads. There's muttering between the two orcs as they look at the person she's pointed out as being Joe.
Yeah, it's me.
Rare. One of them is speaking in Infernal,
Oh, I'll greet him in Inferno.
basically saying like, "I don't remember him being that skinny. Like, we leave him alone for like just a little bit of time. I don't remember him being that skinny."
Yeah, I think he died. Say that in Inferno.
You would think you're not sure if they're looking at you as their head turns and you realize there's a bandage wrapped around where they're about eye level, very Illidari. But they just like, who the fuck said that?
Wait a minute.
Oh, you're blind.
They only see my soul, but they think I'm
Skinny. Yep.
All right. I mean, to be fair, I haven't exactly stored as much as usual yet. But I will, again, speaking in primordial to him, like I always have, fill them in on what happened after I left. I'm sure this is going to be a long conversation type thing over the course of
Walking.
possibly
yeah.
hours.
Remember, she leads you through what you've realized beyond the wall itself is effectively layers of palisades stacked on top of each other. Some of which you see a couple individuals still pulling skeletons off of. It's not pleasant. Yeah. So, as you see, we decided we were going to make a stand. It went okay. Okay-ish. It went alright. I don't really know what's just below okay, but like not bad. It's just okay. Um, I see you've some new companion. Where's the lovely couple and what's it? Sarah? Where are those wonderful individuals? And what was the other one?
They all died.
Uh, uh oh.
I actually don't know. I'm sorry.
They are no longer with the group.
So they're alive though.
Some of them.
Okay.
Sarah is still alive.
Master Union, I don't think we spent a whole lot of time in conversing. I don't do well with mixed messages.
Mixed messages?
As in, are they alive? Aren't they alive? Some of them are alive. Which is it, lad? Because
Some of them
I'm not
are
about to go
alive.
through an emotional roller coaster on your behalf.
Sarah is alive. Tempest
Okay.
is not.
Okay.
Kotak is.
Okay.
Arson is not.
Okay.
Like I said, dead, left and left.
Dead, left and left.
Well, I see you succeeded. Did we? Was it the right thing we did, Master Joe? Aside from your.
Yes. Yes, that's exactly how every other one went. What we did here was exactly what was needed at that time.
Good. Good. I guess my husband won't have to be too upset with me whenever we return to each other. Let's get out of this damn drain. So, making your way through 4 layers of spike wall, you finally reach a 1-story, again, makeshift building that has taken over the rest of the town square, in which many people are currently eating their dinners, several of which are passed the fuck out, being that it's it's going on midnight. But for the most part, trying to best describe, uh, it is. It's not a sad atmosphere. It's not exactly upbeat. There's no music at this hour. You see a few familiar faces. The gnome, his children, they are there. Um, but you are led to a table that does not look like it belongs. It's a very ornate, pretty table, probably dragged out of someone's personal abode, on which there's layers of stretched leather with inked. Sorry, trying not to belch. Inked drawings that the lady dwarf very quickly says, "Oh, this is the plans for reconstruction. We're thinking about putting up some walls. No particular reason. Just tired of being easily invaded by just anything that wants to walk in."
Part of that break that we were talking about.
Yeah. But aside from that, we've had just one hell of a smash against the undead. But then I think for the most part, until the sun came, they left us well enough alone. I guess without whatever it is that was drawing them, they had no real reason to come here. There was more of those icy creatures, though. Um, but a couple of the uh, Inland guildies, they came by and had roused, hopefully, roused out the rest of them. Don't know if they've taken up roost anywhere else. The temple is in dire need of reconsecration, that's for sure. Just the sheer volume of blood there fallen in it. Not doing it so well. But you didn't come here for all that. What business can I help you and have you on your way with? As she puts out a small tray of pastries.
Union will quickly go over to sample the pastries and see how they compare to real grandma's.
You know when it's not the one you like, but you have a hard time admitting it's bad. Where the only flaw you can find in it is it was made by someone else.
They are perfectly adequate.
Are these real pastries?
I assume you're asking Joe.
Yeah.
What are they? They've only been described as pastries. So
You have sweetbreads, muffins, things of that nature.
I don't think either of those are actually.
He eats 3 anyway.
Um,
One of them you ate rare.
I'm trying to think what a sweetbread is. I don't think it's made with the proper bread to be considered a pastry, but I may be wrong on that.
I will note they absolutely do qualify as pastry.
Muffins do not. They absolutely don't. I don't want to argue about this right now, but they're not a pastry.
A pastry is defined by the ingredients used to make it: flour, sugar, milk, butter, shortening, baking powder, and eggs, all of which can be used to make muffins. Just saying. But, Verkus, you are promptly told no, as most people are trying to sleep.
Okay.
Again, it is midnight.
Ah. I am sure our body clocks have been all sorts of messed up because of the.
Yeah, all the more reason to let them sleep.
Bah.
But she will ask again. What business brings you back to Rheindorf? Certainly wasn't my charming personality.
I believe this is all Joe.
Yes.
What? Sorry, I was reading something.
Why we're here?
Well, we're here. We're here to pick up my my steed and my companions if they wish to continue to travel with us.
You mean the bear, right?
Right.
Um, it's ranging about this hour?
Ranging?
One of the side effects of the swarm that hit our town, they tore down most of the structures, stables included, to get at the horses. Um, it's they've your companions here have been taking care of it, but think it's in the fields just north.
All right.
As far as I'm aware, it's eaten well and it's got a wonderful coat.
Oh, I'm sure they took very good care of him. But if the others would like to wait here, I can have them show me to where he is, and I will refamiliarize myself with him and let him refamiliarize himself with me.
Okay.
Probably leave in the AM.
I can get you some
I'm sure they
bedding.
need to rest. Yes.
I mean, it's a bit of a tight squeeze in here, but most of the roofs, at least nearby, are caved in, and the ones that aren't are occupied by their proper residents. She looks to the four of you.
Oh, say what? I wasn't listening.
A place to sleep, lad? Lass? Individual.
I could use a place to sleep. Is it a separate room?
Oh, I'm afraid we don't have any private rooms, no.
Oh, then I'll be good then. Thank you.
Um, okay. The rest of you?
Yes, we could use places to sleep.
Okay. Uh, see the bear man over there to the left? There should be some spare bedrolls just beyond him.
Very well.
There'll be a stew come the morning.
We thank you for your hospitality.
Oh, of course. Most of us wouldn't be alive if it wasn't for you lot.
Union will give a nod and a smile, head over toward the bedrolls.
I'm assuming you're trying to find somewhere to rest, Rare.
Yeah, somewhere alone.
Yeah, you know what you need then, huh? Alright. You don't find the driest of place?
I have slept in worse.
Most likely. It's enough that you are able to keep your ears out of the water.
Perfect.
Whereas Joe, you are guided by your two orc companions to, as described, your bear just kind of casually strolling about, every now and then shaking some of the rain off of it.
Right.
The warrior is carrying the saddle at the moment.
Oh yeah, with the seatbelt. I'm going to approach him, talking to him, because that's probably the only thing he's going to recognize.
Okay. Go ahead and give me an animal handling.
Of course. Why is this not listed in alphabetical order?
Cause
I don't know. It's listed at the bottom for some reason.
you probably had to like add it after the fact.
Probably.
Okay. as you begin to approach, just your footfalls alone, you know it's aware of you as kind of turns its head gently in that direction. You begin to call out to it, trying to reassure it with your voice. It takes a moment, but as it approaches, it begins to sniff at the air. You hear the orcs behind you muttering to each other. Probably placing bets.
Possibly.
The bear doesn't so much approach you as it does your pouch with the coffee still in it. So it seems to at least recognize that.
I offer it some of the coffee grounds.
It's been jonesing.
Yeah, jonesing for coffee. I know I brought this along for a reason.
Yeah, just totally not habit, right?
Yeah.
And Primordial, as best he can convey, asks if you want them to try and put the saddle on. They don't know how to. They've not had to saddle the creature.
Oh no, I remember how this thing goes on.
Okay.
I will attempt to saddle him.
Okay. Aside from that, the night goes with little issue. As you return and get yourself and your companions back under cover, though, the rain picks up a fair bit. Most of you are greeted in the morning with the delightful scent of, as promised, the stew. A lack of light that for some may, even amongst those around you, causes a brief panic before the brains kind of finish boot sequence and realize, oh, it's just raining. This is fine. We're fine.
It's fine, but it sucks.
Don't like getting wet.
Traveling in rain is awful.
Correct. It is very unpleasant.
The individual passing out, said Stu, appears to be a early 20s young man. The line is already getting decently long. There's no sign of the Lady Dwarf. But you are the non-unions are greeted for the first time with Joe approaching on a bear.
You have a bear.
Yeah.
So the bear thing's not normal.
There's a
No.
bear?
No, 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 no.
I didn't know you people got bears. I thought you all hated them.
I mean, it seems more useful than a horse.
I agree. I usually like big wolves. They're pretty nice for riding.
Well, have we gotten all your, things?
Yes, this is. I believe this is everything that I intended to pick up in Rheindorf. Also, to just check on how they got along after we left, but everything seems to be in acceptable order here. And of course, we are on a schedule. We need to make it to Offenmaffen by the end of the week.
The end of the week. Is that when we have a ship out
Potentially.
for?
We might. If we make it there before the end of the week, then we might have a ride. But if we make it there after, we definitely don't. And we would have to book other passage.
Well, it sounds like we have a deadline then.
Yes.
All right.
We do need to pick up the corpse flowers along the way, but those are just outside of Oppenmoffen, just before we arrive.
So, as you gather your things, your belongings, the orcs themselves gather what little items they themselves own. Um, there is a tug on your robe, Joe.
Okay.
A small gnomish girl you have vague recollection of at best. Where's the lady with the glowing wings?
She's no longer traveling with us. I believe she retired.
Oh, will you be seeing her again?
Possibly.
'Cause I don't know how to get this to her otherwise. But I want her to have it. And she hands you a great for a child, crude otherwise, like soap carving of an angel.
Soap Angel. Okay.
Yep. I worked really hard on it.
Gotcha.
I want to know.
I will do my best to make sure she receives it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, and he hasn't said it, but I know, Papa's not. He's not that mad at her, at least anymore. So if you could let her know that, I just know it.
Yes, I'll make a note of that as well. Papa's not mad.
She gives you like an awkward child hug, like she's not sure how to hug a skeleton, but she's trying.
It's quite the same. You just have to just don't squeeze quite as much, and ignore the rattling.
But she
You know,
scurries
don't
off.
squeeze as hard. That's more for your safety than mine.
She like dislocates her knee. But aside from that, no one seems to approach you as you begin to make your way out. Um,
Excellent. Now, as far as the orcs, do they wish to continue to travel with us, or would they prefer to stay here in Rheindorf? Because I mean, they've been here for a while, helping out.
uh, the best you get again through Primordial is you are chief. We follow you.
All right.
We stay. We stayed because of you.
Yeah. Stayed to take care of the bear. Understandable.
Oh man, now we have orcs. Never traveled with orcs before.
One of them leans
Quite say
in
we're
and gives
traveling
you
with them.
a sniff. For
Yeah.
I sniff back and give a wink.
mutter to each other in Orcish. But is the plan to take the road? Cut across? What's the plan?
I think it's probably best to take the road.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably fastest.
You look out in the field of Rheindorf, just drenched.
Yeah, road.
Yeah, just slide down the hills.
Uh, Over here, it's fairly flat. You can see for miles.
Okay, no, there's nothing fun there.
Yeah, which also means there's nowhere to hide from the sun when there's not raining.
All right, road it is.
Oh. All right. So, hopping on the road, we are going to expedite travel. Um, for the most part, getting into the wooded area uh, through your normal ports of day with only the one mount. If you would like to try and push all the way into Roar, again, a place that no one here has visited within campaign span off memory. But I will remind, for the sake of Joe's memory, that it is not just outside of Offenwaffen where you need to get the quartz flower, but in the forest north of Roar.
That might be true. I haven't looked at those notes in a while. I just know it was on the way to
Yes.
forest north of. Like I said, it's probably accurate.
Okay. Um, Assuming you guys want to hut up, take a rest. Rare runs off, takes her nap away from everyone. Their nap away from everyone. Um, you make it into Roar, which is a smattering of not dramatically large buildings, most of which are individual huts that have sort of like their own fenced off portion of field to tend. A couple I'm just making sure we're, you know. There's a handful of shacks there just along the very tip of the river. Um, a few of which do have signs that they would be more than happy to ferry you to Offenmoffen for the low cost of 9 silver. Most notably in the northern section, just on the other side of the it's not a wide river here by any stretch. Um, there is a single tree that itself dwarfs any of the buildings present. This large twisting oak that looks as if it has a staircase running along the edge of it. And on the largest of its boughs, you can see what looks to be various stalls, more akin to like a human settlement trading location. Making way through the town, there are a significant number of wood elves, most of which are talking with locals, exchanging fish for what looks to be like various nuts, um, uh, herbs, things like that.
Yeah.
But otherwise, not a lot of work is going done. Um, Again, it is still pouring down rain. Um, for the most part, as you guys uh, bring in your surroundings, you can hear just to the left of you. Um, Not had many visitors lately. None so formally dressed.
Hello. We're the rebels of the vanquished.
You mean they mean rebels?
Who's the vanquished?
We're still
I think
figuring
it's
it out. Don't worry about the
Well,
name.
let's just
I think
say
it's their friends. They had a lot of friends die recently.
We're not
Don't-
really rebels. we're, we're, it's
We're
just
quite
a
establishment, actually.
We're very pro establishment.
very pro establishment.
We're actually the cops. Ah. Anyhow,
Damn dirty tree smoking hippies.
don't mind me asking. What brings you our humble little home here? Catching eyes on this individual, it's hard to gauge his age as the face shows sign of wear, but definitely retains youth due to his half-elven genetics. Wearing simple garbs, dyed green leather pants, and a linen shirt, currently hanging fairly tight due to, well, being drenched. Um, he appears to be in the midst of having working on repairing a fence line.
Well, we are making our way toward the coast. We have a transportation to catch.
Oh, yeah, just past the. I think Margaret, it's just the third hutch there. I think she just got her boat back in. If you're looking to get there a little more expedition,
Oh, I want to ride a boat. Let's ride a boat.
otherwise, if you're looking to do any trading, you're gonna have to go and head up the tree there. That's where most of it's done.
I believe we are quite sufficient when it comes to supplies, but we'll keep that in mind.
Well, if anyone gives you any guff, you just let them know. Thatcher said you looked okay in his book.
We appreciate that, my good man.
And yes, that means you too, Drow.
Did you notice?
I can strike you from the book if you'd like.
Wait, what book am I a part of?
He just gives you a grin. Anyhow, by all means, I just recommend or I should request you don't cross any fence lines. This is all tended property, as you see. Um, you know, bureaucracy and all that nonsense. But if you need anything, I'm there. I'm the second hutch there by the river. The missus should be there right now. Otherwise, you tend to find me out here in the fields. Oh, sorry, I should address myself. I'm Mayor Thatcher.
Ah, yeah. Pleased to make your acquaintance.
So, otherwise, go ahead and keep standing ominously in the middle of the road in the rain.
Mm-hmm.
Goes back to tending the fence every now and looking up to see if you are in fact just standing there. In the rain.
I imagine we're moving on.
Yeah.
Staring him down. Fucking some bears.
Let us cast our ominous shadows upon this town.
And then just leave.
My shadow's not ominous. It's a normal shadow.
Her shadow waves.
Yeah, that's normal.
It is.
So onwards to the boat? Or whatever it was called.
The boat?
Yeah, because there was someone here who has a boat that can take us to whatchamacallit faster.
Well, we've got to get all the way to Offenmoffen to meet the people in the boat. That's still a ways away.
Well, I think they said there's someone with a boat here.
To get you to Offenmoffen.
I believe
Yeah.
there's a nearby river, Joseph, that we might be able to
Is
traverse.
there?
You gotta zoom in, but yeah, there is not a large river like the others, but there is a waterway here. Remember, guys, he doesn't have like a physical brain anymore. Joe's having a hard time.
No,
Retaining fresh
I
details.
I didn't really see that as a river, but okay.
Yes, sir. It is a river. I promise.
All right. So there's somebody who could take us by boat down to Offenmoffen. Okay.
Yes,
Is that faster than the road?
I believe it would be. Looks like a pretty direct path, according to map.
I'm assuming we're looking at this map.
More or less, yeah.
Yeah.
And
The road looks like it goes very straight, where the river kind of bends and turns.
Well, the road, you'd have to cross the river, which it may or may not have a bridge, and on a boat, you don't have to walk.
And I believe if my instructions are right, the corpse flower that we need to pick up is up here.
How loudly are you saying that?
I mean, loud enough for them to hear. I believe it's raining pretty hard,
Okay.
from my understanding. I have no indication that corpse flowers are not something to
The
be.
Okay, as a reminder, where they grow is considered a sacred site where no outsider may tread.
Oh,
Yeah.
wasn't aware of that.
That's why we kept saying, you're just going to go commit a casual war crime.
Yeah, the
War
war
crime?
flowers.
I thought the war card was
The
making
the war force
war-
was like the end result, but yes.
I've been joking about the flowers the whole time. When I say workroom.
So you, just a fair reminder. Fortunately, no one heard you. They rolled a collective 9 on their perception.
Yes. Well, from now on, we'll speak in tongues and we'll refer to them as daisies.
When he says corpse flower, does that tickle anything in my mind?
Are you a wood elf from this region?
Nope.
Probably not.
He's totally from this place.
I'm a high elf.
Uh-huh. You're telling yourself that.
So are they. But bum.
I can make it into a wood elf. If it helps.
But yes, if we go by water, I think that's kind of putting us a little bit farther away from where I need to go. Because again, it's up here by these trees, as I've been informed.
Okay, so you're not actually intending to make haste to Offenmuffin. You're looking...
Right. Well, when I started heading this direction, I was under the impression that it was outside of Offenmuffin, but as me and Mutt have conversed over notes tonight, it's actually
Here.
between Roar and Offenmuffin, north in the forest.
So it might make sense.
And Mutt can confirm that's pretty close to where what's his name's tower was
Yeah.
too?
Because you guys
So
were
we
you were in
could-
these woods here when you had run to Ellswood's tower.
Okay, so his is way up there, and these is down here. Okay, just to confirm.
Yes.
That makes sense, because, well... So his is basically north of Roar. I can take out the and Offenmuffin for his notes, and that would be more accurate. There we go. Yeah, I don't want to go all the way up there. That's quite the detour.
So, like, maybe the...
Yes,
Yeah, I was told by these trees. It's roughly where we need to go search.
okay. So, beelining out of the city, staying to the land. You are again at the tip of the river, so not a major fording operation. You do walk / ride past that towering oak, where for the rest of you, absolutely beautiful, pleasant, loving music can be heard. Vivian, this is the stuff you have been warned about from childhood to your current day.
That's a lot of years.
Yeah, this is, and again, it's so sweet, serene, alluring.
Yeah, no, let's go. No reason to delay. It's raining and all that, yeah?
Yeah.
Do you not like the rain?
No, the rain's fine. But, everyone else seemed to have issues with traveling in it, so the sooner we get to the trees, the sooner we get out of the rain, right?
Ah, true.
somewhere.
I want to see where the music's coming from, though.
Music.
It's coming from the giant oak that you have to go past to get into
Oh, it's coming from the tree. Even better.
like up in the boughs. Yeah. See how do I have the description. Uh, Music pours forth from the boughs of the tree, not from any singular location, but as if musicians from each various branch were playing their own melody, and over the course of time melded and blended together into a beautiful orchestra.
The tree's actually a one-man band.
Well, you can see there are people at the trees. I'm just saying, the tree's cool, like the tree itself, cool tree. The tree's not the one making the music. Just want to
Okay.
make that clear. Not Tree Bard
That
yet.
does clear it up.
But basically, it's a bunch of soloists who just are. They're just one massive fucking jam session.
Do you think the tree is hollow?
I mean, it has to support buildings and people on it.
I want to see if it's hollow. We should explore it.
Perhaps on our way back.
Oh. Alright.
Okay. About an hour out, having left the oak and Aurora behind, there's no letting up of the steady downpour, but Vivian, Verkus, the two of you, and again, if Union at any point in time you would like to go ahead and put your passes up there so your GM doesn't have to keep opening your sheet, great, thank you, love you. But I think yours was a 15 if I remember correctly.
Perception?
Yes.
I think it should
16.
be, yeah,
Okay.
16 with the...
So the three of you catch this faint, sort of that itch on the back of your neck, that you're being followed. About the time that you are coming into the young wood of the forest, the edge of it.
I'm just gonna casually pull out my bow. No reason, just casual.
Everyone is aware that as soon as Vivian touches her weapon, to the sound of several bowstrings being drawn back. Except Rare with her passive 10.
I'm just walking. Just humming to myself, talking to my raven.
I think we're being watched.
You're being aimed at.
Yeah, I had hunch.
Yeah, and Elvish just, well, hello to you too.
Explain your trespass.
There's the reason we're here. He could get us out of this.
I was told that a rare flower grows in your lands, and it is required in my studies.
That flower is not for your kind, undead.
It's for elves? only?
So, I just you didn't. You speak Elvish too, don't you?
I'm trying.
Is that
What
a
is the
yes?
Trying.
PW?
Passive wisdom, I think.
I think he speaks Common and Infernal. I don't
I
think there was
hold
anything.
on. I know my own languages as
Do
well
you?
as my feet.
Put them all in one text box. Don't make different text boxes for everything.
Yeah,
I tried,
you hit
but it
shift
didn't
enter,
work.
shift enter to go to the next line.
God.
Where am I? No, I do not speak Elvish.
Okay, so Rare and you are the only two completely like, what? You two hear what is effectively a beautiful word, but the three speaking Elvish is, um, those flowers are for the truly dead only. They are not for you.
For the truly dead. So I'm not actually dead? I'm asking them.
If you seek to find such state, we will be more than happy to help you.
I mean, I'm just here to negotiate. I need these flowers. They're very important. What will it take for me to acquire some of them?
These are not for trade, Lich.
I'm not a lich. There's no lich about me.
What purpose could you possibly have to desecrate our lands with your filth?
I don't intend to desecrate your lands. That was never in my intention. Um, I'm just trying to. I mean, I'm sure there is something that we could offer you in exchange.
I will say, these two are part of the group that helped bring the sun back. In Elvish.
We know not of this act being the action of a singular group or individual, High Elf. Your vouching for them means nothing here. What is it you want?
Again, what I need is a corpse flower, so I can bring back a companion that lost her life while we were working to assist in bringing the sun back. Unfortunately, her body was destroyed before we could complete that, and I would like to return her to her form. I was told that this is the only way.
Persuasion.
I need the corpse flower as part of the ritual.
Would my assistants give advantage or no?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they just said your vouching means nothing.
Okay.
Yeah, you lowborn high elf.
Shut up, Trow!
They have the high branch on you right now.
Could I then spin that as maybe inspiration for Joe?
Inspiration.
My bardic inspiration?
Sure. Wait, an extra D8.
So what do I need to roll?
Persuasion.
Persuasion. see how this turns out.
Just double
Oh.
digit.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
Okay. They, Verkus, you can sort of make like where they are in the trees. Everyone else is more just hearing them rather than seeing them. Um, there's a hushed exchange of words, too quiet without focusing to try and hear what they said, and you can a single branch shakes with the force of one of them launching themselves deeper into the wood. At no point have they lowered their weapons, as a note.
I wouldn't expect wood elves to.
And to my knowledge, Vivian still has her hand on her bow, so there's that.
I wouldn't expect her to lower that either. Again, knowing
Just elves.
elves.
Elvish standoff here.
Meanwhile, I'm just in the middle, it's like, God damn it.
Like, reach for those bagpipes and you're dead, Bard. What feels an eternity later, almost in time with the rain lessening just ever so slightly, a woman with her hair tied back with vine, and wearing as simple adornment as she can of like a woven dress to cover her particularly modest parts of her frame, steps out and into plain view. Just in front of her, what looks to be a fire opal hovers about chest height, giving just enough illumination for everyone to see clearly her features as she looks out to you all. I am told you mean to intrude on most pressing matter, outsiders. And I need everyone to make a charisma save.
Charisma.
This is in common rare.
Are we close enough to Union?
Sure.
I have a plus 13.
Union. You are very distracted by what?
Sorry, I actually don't have Union Aura on because I figured he's hostile to me. Is this still true?
Is this still true?
I will note
Oh.
those affect with bonuses against magical charms, which I think elves do. Head
Yes.
top.
Yep.
It would apply here.
So advantage. What is the bonus that he gives us?
I believe it's +4.
+4. Okay. So
Okay, so the 27 plus Union's thing.
yeah, that would be +4. So that'd also be a 27.
I got 17.
Okay, so
I-
again, Vivian's waiting to know whether or not she's still considered hostile to Union.
She's not I don't think at this point Union Aura would extend. She's not a member of the group, and she literally tried to kill him.
Okay.
And
Alright.
you got to kind of ask yourself: do you intend to attack her?
I mean, I don't, but she clearly intends to attack me.
Yeah, it is a two-way street. So
Yeah, I was literally going to ask her next.
So, oddly enough, the paladin, um, the androgynous, and the drow, you guys are woefully enchanted by her presence. You find your ability, paladin, shock, I know, you find your ability to tell her any mistruths stripped from you.
Oh no.
You have the two.
Alright.
She's just really pretty.
The other two, she's just really pretty.
Yeah, the skeleton and the bard. She's pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's all right.
Like otherworldly pretty, but it's literally she's just pretty.
Yes.
I presume this is more or less like a zone of truth type deal.
Um, not exactly, but close to.
Okay.
The effect it would fall under that, yes. But again, you pass the save
Yep.
thanks to your elven blood.
Mm-hmm.
With a 31.
So, is it true? You come here to tread upon our sacred grounds.
Well, as you can see, it's not like we came with the intent of sneaking in to your lands. We came in the hopes of retrieving this reagent that is required for my ritual. But I never intended to steal it if I could acquire it by more um, persuasive means.
Her eyes turn to the knightly union. Is this true?
So the claim is that Joseph was not going to steal the flower.
Which, to my knowledge, he never said he planned to steal it.
Yeah. Completely out of character up until about 30 minutes ago. Didn't know we were sneaking into any place. Didn't know it was forbidden land.
Didn't
Yeah.
remember.
I shouldn't say don't remember any of
Yeah.
this because it's been so
Yeah.
long type thing.
I will say
So-
there was a time he was talking about using a coffin as a planter.
But that was to hold the flowers. Like a coffin as a.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because we were told that they like grew on the dead.
Yeah. We did not come here with the intention of doing any thieving.
To save a comrade who fell in the long night. Which I will
Yes,
note,
no.
you know is a falsity. She fell before the long night.
Did she?
Yes.
Was
She died just before the mountains.
Yeah, Ridra died before y'all ran into Sarah.
might
Might be true. I believe you're right because she died during the. Because we found her in the pickle barrel right after we stopped the other ritual.
Yeah, that was Reindorf.
yeah.
Reindorf
Yeah.
the first. Poor Reindorf.
Right. The first stop at Rheindorf.
Only say Rhino.
She died on Routes of the Mountain. That's out of character. So
Yeah,
So
yeah, that's what I mean. After the ritual, I don't remember if it was. I don't remember what night it was.
Do I know? Would you
She died
know
at night.
explicitly who? Because he may want to revive Arson.
he hasn't mentioned who.
Yeah. We have lost many friends. Yes, we are trying to revive one of them that fell.
Out of character, I just realized I don't think I've told anybody about my
No.
You,
No,
yeah,
my
you
I haven't.
did tell them that you had a plan to get Ridra back. You did not tell
right.
them what that plan was.
This is true
Yeah.
because
And this is a plus side of that right now.
Now, because it wasn't until like last session that you ever mentioned corpse flower. You just said you had something to go get, like in character.
yeah.
If memory serves.
Well, I mean, at this point, the only person that would have heard anything would have been
Union. So
Union, and I don't think I ever talked to him about the corpse flower thing before. It's just a reagent that's needed. But yeah. Anyway, back to what's going on in real time. But
mm-hmm.
We indeed lost companions during the long night. Restore them to life.
And what of you, Drow? Why are you here? So far from any entrance to your humble dwellings.
So are you asking in context of like why am I here with these people, or why am I here on the surface, or
She just gives you a beautiful smile. What comes to mind first?
well, I'm here with these people because I was told to be with these people. What they intend to do with things is entirely up to them.
Her gaze crosses each of you in turn. Then you, Drow, follow me.
Oh no.
If any of you others step a foot further, I'm afraid the laws will be abided.
What's the law?
Her hand
falls.
casually gestures up into the trees where you just now noticed people are aiming bows at you with sharp, pointy
Oh.
things on the end of them.
How long have those been there?
Since we started being talked to, if not before.
Oh.
I see how it is. They'll let the elf in, but they won't allow the Balnorn to follow them.
I mean, they're letting the drow in? The high elf is clearly the low elf here. See who's at the bottom of the pecking order? Yeah, it's
Only
not me.
because I succeeded the save.
It's not me.
Has nothing to do with the fact that he passed the save.
Oh no.
Of course not.
So Vivian, you are led deeper into the wood, and soon you are greeted with just every now and then your periphery catches these vibrant, glowing petals. You never catch a full flower in plain view until you come to a clearing where she dims her light and the multitude of them appear almost as stars dotting the darkness with a soft lunar white glow.
Flowers or the petals?
The petals of the flowers.
Okay.
If any foul deed is done with these, a curse shall I lay upon you. You know all of curses, don't you, Dark Walker?
I'm not really sure why I'm the one who should be getting the curse. Shouldn't the one who actually wants something to do with this get it?
You chose your bedfellows.
Debatable.
And I assure you, it would not be a curse you share alone. She gently leans down and doesn't so much pluck one as works her finger through the soil and pulls the entire from tip of the petals to the base of the root a flower, the roots of which anatomically seem to have been almost a cage-like shape, as if they were wrapped around a heart.
Okay, so because you were cutting out a little bit while describing the curse, what exactly is it if something goes wrong with it?
If something ill, with any ill intent, is done with it,
Okay. Well, if she's offering it, I'll take it.
as you grasp it, there's a flash, brief sort of snapshot run through of the entire life of a wood elf. It's like as quick as a snap of a finger before it fades. Return to your companions, and hopefully one day walk peacefully in the sun again, dear cousin.
I mean, if it stops hurting, maybe. But don't get your hopes up. And I'll head back.
20 minutes goes by, the four of you waiting, your onlookers ever so patiently just waiting for you to cross that invisible line they were given. And Vivian returns alone, holding a flower.
Is that the flower you needed, Joseph?
I believe so. It looks like what was described. I have a simple request. How long do these last? Do they decay like normal flowers?
One of the elves up in the boughs. We have never plucked one.
Okay.
But it is as natural as any here but yourself.
So probably normal plant speed.
Normal plant speed.
It still has the roots, right?
Correct.
It's a good question.
It certainly does.
Excellent.
And what kind of sustenance does it need? Because if it needs elf hearts, there's only really one spare.
Yeah, the one holding the flower.
Right. You keep telling yourself that.
Yeah, I know where you were going with that one.
Elf hearts.
Anyhow. A great boon has been bestowed upon you, outsiders. Leave.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go.
Union
So-
will follow.
Well, I guess we'll be going.
Which way are we going?
Maybe back to Roar, get on the boat.
Might be quicker than continuing on.
Yeah.
Yeah, if nothing else, just due to the thickness of the now heavily sopped terrain. Regardless, Vivian, Union, Rare, once you step out of the woods, you are sapped of energy
Ah,
and suffer a level of exhaustion.
Whack.
Oh.
Vivian, will you give the flower to Joe?
I mean, before I do, I intend to have a stern talking about, if this flower is in any way, shape, or form misused, abused, or just wrong things, there is a curse on it, and I will not allow that. So you tell me.
Well, curses aren't a big deal. Pretty easy to get rid of.
I mean, tell you what?
Pick off, Thunder!
Yeah, it sounds like the gods are upset at you, and they want you to
Yes,
give this
they are.
flower.
We don't need to make it worse, okay? What are your intentions with this thing?
My intentions are to grant one of our fallen companions a new body.
Does a flower help with that?
I don't know the specifics. It's part of the ritual to move her soul from where it is now to the new body. There
You
is
don't?
nothing foul or inappropriate about this.
Where's
you-
the new body from?
it is in my head.
No,
Not
the new body,
the
not.
soul. The soul's in my head.
Yeah,
It's like,
so,
I know you've got a thick head, but dang.
so you can transfer the soul out of him and into a new body.
Well, it's not actually in him. It's currently being stored in a safe place,
Yes.
and when the time comes, we will release the soul, and it will be put in the new body. I mean, it's basically similar to resurrection, just with arcane magics instead of divine.
But you're not even the one doing it.
Well, no, I don't specialize in returning things back from the dead. I know my appearance may be contrary, but
Yes, in fucking indeed.
As I keep telling you guys, I am not undead. I just have a skin condition.
The condition of having none.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's
it's
a
a
yeah,
lack of.
exactly a lack of, but it is a condition. It's a side effect of my medicine.
I mean, that's fair. I believe you.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's the plan? Do you give? Do you believe the question that stands? Is do you give him the flower?
I mean, they didn't specify who else is getting this curse. Just that others are, or will, or something.
Yeah.
So if you don't mind, it's kind of my life on the line with this. So I would personally like to make sure that it is not used and abused. Used maybe, but not abused.
Okay.
Unless you know some means to keep it from wilting or something.
Well,
We
I
don't
was
really.
planning on planting it in this soil that I brought along with me, and having my little companion here, my little mushroom man, attend to it for the time being.
This tiny little mushroom like waddles up his robes onto his shoulder and just waves. He's gotten no bigger, no smaller. He's just been there.
I
Yeah.
have
Are you
forgotten
capable
about-
of tending to a flower? You have the right permits?
I had forgotten about the mushroom man.
I haven't. I've been taking very good care of this little guy because apparently, what did I put in my notes? He will
Warm up to you
warm up
eventually.
to me if I take care of him.
Considering he's not dead, you've taken care of him.
Yeah, taking care.
But just when asked about permits, he just kind of like cocks to one side, like what? Does the like an absolutely adorable little mushroom shrug?
I mean, he was raised and trained by uh, like a giant treant, so I'm pretty sure he knows how to take care of flowers.
Mushroom nodding.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone else here is more qualified.
Then a mushroom.
I mean,
That was trained
yes.
by a treant.
It makes sense that a mushroom would be good at handling plants. They're like plants, right? I
Yeah.
like mushroom or plants.
I think they live where plants don't live.
But if it was trained by a treant,
If I see one petal on this thing start to wilt, I'm taking it back. Alright, mushroom?
Yes.
It just adorably cocks to the other side. It has no mouth. It has no face.
Yeah. It's literally a little
It's
tree
just a
man. Or
little
a little,
walking mushroom.
man.
Okay, I'll give the mushroom the flower.
It is incapable of holding the mushroom, for it is small, and the mushroom, the flower is big.
Yeah. I will plant it in his sack.
What's the nature check you're trying to hit there, Rare?
If I know that mushrooms are plants,
Mushrooms are not technically plants, but they do in fact grow where plants are.
okay, I will tell this to the party.
Not just not where they're not. Some of them are quite symbiotic.
Yeah, they have a very symbiotic relationship.
So the little mushroom man dives into the sack and starts playing in the soil. But
So why were the elves mad at us? I wasn't
were-
really paying attention. I'm sorry.
Because they're elves. They're
Because this is their realm, and would else get testy.
Oh, fair enough. Could have just asked Luton to go get it.
I'm pretty sure they would have shot the bird.
They can't shoot what they can't see. Luton, turn invisible. Okay, maybe later.
no, he turned invisible,
Oh, okay.
but it's still making noise.
See, he can do that.
Okay. Is there anything else on the shopping list?
No,
think
we're up
that's
to step 7 of the trip. We're
which is get to open muffin.
yes, arrive in Ofamuffin before the end of the week.
All right. We will be fading to black as you return to Roar. There is a handful more individuals that are giving you all a very stern look. You can't imagine why. As one of them has an owl perched on his shoulder.
It's an owl.
At least they can't see my bird.
This makes perfect sense.
Insert bird noise here.
I mean, owls are the easy one. They just go, "Ooh."
No, the
Yeah,
the
always
raven.
questioning what you're doing.
Who goes there? Who? But that is where we will fade to black.
Woo.